Welcome to We Are Soccer special extra time edition. Today we're talking about U.S. men's national team and the qualifying games they've just been through. 2 qualifying games, 2 draws. In El Salvador, they went 0-0. And recently against Canada at home here in the USA, it was a 1-1 draw. All right, Nate, is it time to hit the panic button? What do we got to do here, man?
I'm sorry, my internet cut out, and I've been on vacation. So we won both games, right?
No, I'm sorry, we did not. We drew 0-0, and then we drew 1-1.
That's impossible. Everyone told me we're winning both games.
Nope, we drew.
Well, is it time to hit the panic button? I don't know. It's funny because you want both to be wins. You want U.S. to dominate, never lose anyone, maybe draw Mexico because you're number 10, according to Coca-Cola, who did some weird algorithm done by Matt Damon, and the guy from The Beautiful Mind, Russell Crowe, when he wasn't the gladiator, they're writing on the a little glass, and somehow game theory, and you're number 10. That's how that works, I guess, somehow, with magic and numbers. I don't know. I barely got through algebra. But anyways, I don't think it's time to panic. I think a lot of people are freaking out because of what happened last go around.
Yep.
Now, of course, I want the wins. Of course, it'd be nice to be like Mexico, have 6 points. Absolutely. But let's rewind a little bit. El Salvador. Did you watch the post-match commentary from the 3 commentators at all? Did you catch it?
Yep, I did.
Now, I've never played in El Salvador. I'm assuming maybe you only did once.
I have never played in El Salvador.
Okay. But those 3 guys have. Yeah, those 3 guys have. Onueu was kind of a bit brutal. Was like, oh, you should have won, blah, blah, blah. And then Dempsey kind of looked at him with Dempsey eyes. Boop. Where they kind of.
Glassy eyes, yeah. He looked like he's stoned.
And they were buggy. And he went, should have won. And Onueu, this squad should have won against that squad. And he goes, yeah, but in El Salvador, and he went, we went through 3 qualifiers there, and we drew twice and lost once. I never won at El Salvador. And Jonathan Davies was actually saying the same thing.
Yep.
You got away with a point. So you got guys who've actually played there kind of going, you didn't lose. Not bad.
So
now
I want to jump in here. I did watch the commentary after the game from those 3 gentlemen. Gucci Onyewu, I side with him 100%. On paper,
yep.
The USA has the better players. We've got a guy who plays for Barcelona. We got a guy who plays for Juventus. We got guys who play in the Bundesliga. We got guys who play in the EPL. And you know what? Yes, the crowd was raucous, and it was an atmosphere that most soccer players or footballers do not want to go into as an away opponent. I get that. The field was less than desirable. It was a cabbage patch of a field. Let's be very honest. But what I'm really pissed about is the way that Greg Berhalter set up his team. I don't think he went with the best lineup. I think he went to get that point. He was afraid of losing. And yes, probably some of the history, as Dempsey talked about it, was in the back of his mind. We've been there before, and we've come away with less than desirable results. I don't like the setup he went with. I don't like how some of the players in the final third refused to almost run at the defender. They opted to turn around and pass the ball and keep possession, and then they struggled to keep possession. I think in the defense, the USA defense did well. The midfield did. They kept giving the ball away, and the offense in the final third was absolutely terrible. I don't like the fact that we now think that going to El Salvador and getting a point is a good result just because it's game 1 of qualifying. So I'm going to agree with Onyewu and say, you know what? We got a point. Great. That's great. We got a point. But the effort, the tactics we came out with, the overall, it just wasn't good enough, in my opinion. And that then obviously we went on to play the Canada game at home. And it just seemed like it was just a continuation. All we did was take a step up in effort and up in tactics to the Canada game from El Salvador. And again, we tied 1-1, but that makes that if you win the Canada game, no one looks back at the El Salvador game and goes, you know what? It was a good point. No, you win the Canada game, you get 3 points, and you look back at the El Salvador game and you go, we got a solid point. Now we're 4 points and we're heading right in the right direction. Let's do this. But because you drew Canada at home, you dominated, by the way, most possession, most shots, most everything was in your favor. You didn't put the ball in the back of the net more than once. You let one in through sloppy defending. The El Salvador result looks bad now. So I agree with Onyewu.
I agree with Anu and I agree with you. And I also then prefaced it by this: I don't give a shit what your team looks like on a piece of paper. So, and you've been there too. You've played competitively.
Mm-hmm.
You've probably played in your career teams that were supposed to be better than you.
Mm-hmm.
And that makes you go harder, and that makes you go in there with a little bit of a chip on your shoulder, going, oh, this guy plays here, this guy plays here, oh, this guy's actually ranked there, oh, they're better than us, right? And that kind of puts you out there to take it up a notch. In my opinion, when it comes to these qualifying games, you can kind of take that and shove it to the side for a minute. So should they, on paper, should they win? Yeah, sure. In FIFA 2022, when I play it, yeah, we win every time. But in reality, there's the X factor. And I think there was a bit of an X factor going on in El Salvador that night, especially with how young these guys were. And I'm not using this as an excuse. I'm just stating facts.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
The tie's not good enough. They should have won. This is why. Young team, bit of a chip on their shoulder, monkey on their back, if you will, fear of doing what they did 4 years ago, playing in a hostile crowd with cannons going off that they never experienced before, shitty pitch, and a team that literally is, I'm not going to play fancy, I'm just going to take your legs out. And that's why even a Kellen Acosta kind of came in the match, who's a gritty guy, who should start, by the way, every game going forward, I think, because he's that type of guy who's just going to get stuck in. He's going to start it and then end it. He's not going to allow you to take out one of his players because he's going to be in your face and then return it. That type of player, we need more of that on the field, mixed with the talent.
Yep.
And that's where I think we were a little bit lacking El Salvador. Now, Canada, I think we were there. I will say two things about Canada. One, it's going to be my prediction. It's going to be USA, Canada, and Mexico, the top three. I don't know where it's going to finish out, but those will be the top three right there.
Should be.
I think
Absolutely
the Canadian coach is fantastic, and I think the Canadian coach has outcoached Burkhalter almost every time but once when he played him. And that's a fact. It's just he's a guy. The guy's good. I wish he coached for the USA. He doesn't. Is what it is. Now, that Canada team's not bad, and I think with that coach and with the fact that they did not want to lose against us, putting all the players they did in the back, just trying to play a quick counterattack game, that's why you had the result that you had.
Yeah, absolutely. Poor defending on the goal that USA gave up.
For sure.
You know, Yedlin gets beat. John Brooks doesn't mark his man. Ball in the back of the net. And we tie 1-1. Absolutely 100%. I want to go back to the El Salvador game for a second. You mentioned Kellen Acosta coming in around the 16-minute mark, whenever it was. Again, why the hell is a player like that not playing in this game? He should be starting this game. You can't bring him in the last 5 minutes. Why is he not starting this game in El Salvador? He comes on and everything changes. You know, the USA gets 2 more half chances in those 15 minutes when he comes on the pitch. That man needs to be the starting defensive midfielder for the U.S. men's national team. I don't know why we opted to not have them there, especially after the performance he put in the Nations League final and then in the Gold Cup final and most of the Gold Cup games. Sorry. I don't think gold.
I think and I hate to, I'm not using an excuse for Burkholder. I'm just saying, in fact, I don't think he's ever coached a game like that against an atmosphere like that. And I think he picked it wrong. And he probably should have realized that sooner.
Yeah.
He didn't. That's actually, I believe, a fault of his is he's slow to make adjustments, very slow to make adjustments. I'll get to that a little bit later. But
I agree 100% with you. Sorry.
I don't think he realized that all our Gold Cup, all our Nation League matches, most of them took place in the USA, didn't take place over there. And it just, I think he went in with you said, these are my most skilled players, not my toughest or grittiest players or the guys who are going to get stuck in and give me that X factor in an environment I need. But these are the guys who are probably in training sessions the best players, the most skilled. I'm going to go with them. And there you go. That's what it is.
Well, there's also to counter my own argument. There's 3 games here that they need to play. El Salvador was 1, Canada 2. Now coming up in 2 days, they play in Honduras. So there's 3 games in about a week here. So conserving legs, I get that, but for me, the first game is the most important, and you should have been going for the win and having Kellen Acosta in there. Obviously, 2 draws. Now we fly to Honduras, another bit of a hostile environment, probably not the best pitch in the world. Pulisic will be there for this game. He wasn't there in El Salvador due to the quarantine and everything like that, and the small injury he had, but he's healthy now. So what are your thoughts on Honduras? What do you think is this going to be an all-out go for it, or do you think Berhalter kind of sits back and plays for let's just not lose? What do you think? What do you think he'll do?
So going into the let's just not lose factor, if you look at historically from 2002 on, the teams that, again, you don't need to make first to get in the World Cup. You need to be top 3, 4th, you get the playoff, right? Mm-hmm. So out of 30 points from 2022, you had USA who made it with only 17 out of 30 possible points, with 5, 2, and 3. 2006, again, bottom of the table, Costa Rica made it in with 16, 5, 1, and 4. So just a little bit shy above 500. Mm-hmm. Then you start to, again, 2010, 16, 5, 1, and 4. 2014, 4, 3, and 3. Honduras makes it in 3rd with 15 points, barely above 500. And then even in 2018, you had a Panama team who made it in with only 13 points, 3, 4, and 3. So when everyone's like, oh, 2 draws, oh my God, what are we going to do? Oh, fire everyone, the trainer, the staff, everyone, bring in, I don't know who, but bring in someone in, anyone in, do it. I said it was unfair, and I know you don't like Klinsmann. I don't care. But I said it was unfair for Klinsmann to get fired on the back in the middle of a qualification like he was early on, like he did with 2 games in, when he played Mexico, a team that we should lose to.
At that time,
that year we should lose to. Then traveling to Costa Rica, where everyone said that we'll likely lose to Costa Rica at home. And then they fired him on the back of that, brought in Bruce Arena, and it didn't work. I
don't think they fired him for those 2 results. I think there was more going on behind the scenes.
There was probably more going on, but you started it with him. Those 2 results happened, and they fired him and used those as the excuse. I think you're stuck with Burkholder no matter what. I think you got to finish with him.
Oh, yeah.
You got to.
And I'm not calling for him to be fired, but
nope. But some people are, and I think he's to me he's the guy who you knew who he was going into this. He's not a tactical genius. No. He's not going to make changes on the fly. He's not going to make adjustments. I remember when they lost to Canada in the beginning, and all that happened was one player in Canada went out. The Canadian coach made an adjustment, just one adjustment, and he didn't know what to do, and they lost. Yep. And then they played him again, and they beat him, and everyone's like, oh, good, he adjusted. Well, he didn't adjust it in the game. So Burkholder is not the type of coach that is going to bring on and change a system. To me, at least I haven't seen it, where he changes the system in the middle of the game, brings on some new players, and goes. He's kind of like, this is what we're doing. before the game, throughout. This is a strategy. But he is a motivator of players, and you saw it in the Nations League. You saw the players coming up and hugging him and like grabbing him and saying and super proud, and even in the Gold Cup, how excited those players are winning for him. You need him in, especially now, and this is where the Honduras game comes into a factor here. This team lacks confidence. They have the 2018 bad juju hanging right over them right now. Yeah. You could see it in Pulisic's eyes at the end of the game when he was talking, and he was just like, "Yeah, it's just not good enough." And even though it's 2 games, 2 draws, whatever, not a big deal. This team does not have the confidence right now to handle a 3rd draw. They have to win in Honduras.
That was my next question to you. What's gonna?
They have to win.
Do they have to get that win? Because and what happens if they don't? What happens if they draw? And what happens if they lose? Then the confidence is going to be way down, and then the players go back to their domestic leagues and their clubs, and they're going to do that. But
hopefully we don't get there, because the last 7 games have been with us versus Honduras have been 5 wins, 2 draws. So hopefully we don't get there, but that's when you need to lean on that coach who is a motivator of these guys, apparently, who they all like even harder. You can't go away from them.
Yep.
Not now. We're riding and dying with them. It is what it is. You want to fire them after qualification, fine, but you can't do it in the middle.
No,
because I think if you go on a string of bad games and then you take out the coach, who, by the way, won 2 trophies with this team,
and everybody was so happy about. Everybody was in love with him at that point. With those 2
and if you take him out now, I think it sends a really poor message. So you're riding and dying with them. It is what it is. If you don't like them, tough shit. It's like I don't know what to tell you. Yep. There's things I like about him. There's things I don't like about him. It is what it is. But he is the type of coach he is, and we're with it to the end, in my opinion, with qualification at this point. But I think hopefully it'll come through against Honduras.
Yep.
Hopefully Acosta starts. And the one thing I was disappointed with, again, player selection, is you got players that went out and they bring in Yuval.
Yeah.
Why?
When
you have DK, who didn't DK play for Orlando, I believe. I don't know. I didn't watch the MLS chat. I'm sure I'm gonna sit and watch it later. But
the MLS
maybe you guys covered that. But I think DK scored, right?
Yeah, he's back for Orlando City. He's not in the U.S. men's national team squad right now.
He's there. He scores. He's fit. He's a striker. You're struggling for goals. Why not bring him in? I don't understand. I don't get it.
Well, we'll see what happens. All right, Nate. Let's wrap this up. Give me your prediction for USA visiting Honduras. What's the score?
I'm gonna go modest 5-0 USA.
Modest 5-0.
They're gonna hold back.
Wow. All right. I like that.
No, I think, you know what? I'm gonna go with I think this might be the USA coming out party. Let's go 3-0.
3-0. All right.
3-0. I think it's going to be a 3-0.
I hope you're right. I'm going to go with a 2-0 scoreline USA. Pulisic leading the line with a goal and assist. Yeah, I mean, that's what's needed. It really has to happen at this point. It has to get. And can you imagine if we get a win here? So with 5 points, those boys will go back to their club teams. They'll play some games. They'll get in better shape. They'll get some more experience. And then they'll come back and they'll be ready for the next 3 coming up in October.
And look at the table too. You get a win, you might be sitting second.
Yep.
Panama, I believe Panama's ahead of us right now with 4.
Something like that.
And Mexico has 6. You think Panama and Mexico play each other? You think Panama's going to beat Mexico?
Right. Yep.
So
yeah. It's Mexico are going to be the leaders of this group, and you're right. USA will finish second, or hopefully second-ish, and then Canada will finish third. I think that's the way this group will shake out over the entire 14 games of the qualifying.
In my mind, first is the same as third. So long as you qualify, who gives a crap?
Yeah, doesn't matter. As long as you qualify, that's all that counts. All right, buddy. We'll wrap it up today for this extra time of We Are Soccer. Nate with his American Outlaws shirt. That's official merchandise, right?
It's official from a guy at the American Outlaws truck during
There
the
you go.
pre-party. Yes.
There you
So
go. All right.
we could check with our homie, but I'm pretty sure it's yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's official. Our guy, Donald Wine, you would approve. So, all right, Nate. Thanks, buddy. Why don't we do another one of these after we play Honduras and see where we're at?
We will either be very happy or very drunk.
Yes. Let's go with yes. All right, folks. We'll see you later. Nate, cheers, bud.
Bro.